Hillary Clinton has been exposed in the Durham Report, Jesse Waters reports. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. Durham was appointed by Trump in the first go-around back in, what was that, 2009, 2020, maybe 19. He was known for being slow, methodical, and non-political. So there's extra gravitas on this one. Watch this.
Alert. It only took 4 years, but the Durham Report has finally dropped. And he found out what everybody already knew. The whole Trump-Russia collusion story was a giant hoax started by Democrats. The FBI knew it was a hoax. The CIA knew it was a hoax. And Barack Obama knew it was a hoax. Everybody knew it was a hoax the whole time, but they acted like it was real. The CIA knew Hillary started the Russia collusion story and then went in and told Barack Obama all about it, that she was trying to link Trump with Russia to distract from her email scandal. But this is the best part, the P-tape. You know what they said in the Steele dossier, that Trump peed on prostitutes at the Ritz-Carlton in Moscow? Well, at first we thought that Hillary got the Russians to make the story up. But it turns out Hillary's guy made up the PP tape lie. And then they just pinned it on a Russian.
That's the Steele dossier is Hillary's guy. And the media, of course, ran with it. So we knew all this. Well, I've been reporting this for 4 years now.
The Democratic National Committee had this guy, Charles Dolan. He goes to Russia, checks into the Ritz-Carlton, and asks for a tour of the presidential suite. And then the golden shower story drops. Nobody at the Ritz-Carlton told him this. Not the bellman, not the cleaning ladies, not the manager. I mean, maybe he got so drunk on vodka, he forgot it actually happened to him. So the PP tape was Hillary's team's idea.
So maybe it was that guy. You know, Democrats always accuse Republicans of what they actually did. I'm not going to say what he actually did in that hotel room, but history is consistent.
Well, what else did we find out from Durham? Well, we found out the FBI shut down 2 investigations into the Clintons. 2. First, 3 separate FBI field offices said, wait a second, the Clinton Foundation is a foreign money laundering scam. We should probably look into it. But Andy McCabe, you remember Andy, the guy married to the Clinton donor? He calls everybody in and says, guys, the Clinton Foundation's off limits. Second thing they shut down, the Hillary Clinton campaign was taking illegal contributions from overseas.
China.
FBI informants caught Hillary's campaign saying, yeah, we'll take your money. We don't care. Albania, Morocco, just send us the checks. So he runs it up the flagpole at the FBI headquarters and they said, shut it down. No investigation into Hillary Clinton's foreign campaign donors. We're not going to go there. We have to frame Trump as a traitor instead. So John Durham also found a few other funny little nuggets that squeaky clean James Comey couldn't wait to spy on the Trump campaign. He kept asking his underlings, have we started spying yet? Have we started spying yet? When could we start spying on Trump? Are the phones tapped yet? What a sicko. Also, Comey's people told his people, don't put anything in writing. It's only going to get us in trouble. So the media loves to say, well, you know, this is just the FBI. This is just the Department of Justice. What they never tell you is this is the Obama administration preventing investigations into Hillary.
So we're getting a twofer. We're going to get Hillary Clinton investigated and questions about Barack Obama, what he ordered. Twofer.
Legal investigations into Donald Trump. But Barack Obama gets out there and he lies to us about the whole thing.
I can guarantee that not because I give Attorney General Lynch a directive. That is institutionally how we have always operated. I do not talk to the Attorney General about pending investigations. I do not talk to FBI directors about pending investigations. We have a strict line.
You don't even have to talk to them for them to know what you want. Everyone knows what you wanted to do. I don't believe he had to even give them the message. They had their marching orders when a Democrat appointed them.
And always have maintained it. I guarantee that there is no political influence in any investigation conducted by the Justice Department or the FBI, not just in this case, but in any case.
So Barack Obama gets briefed by the CIA director with the FBI director on pending investigations into his political opponents. And then he just tells Fox, no, he just lies to Fox. Don't you ever lie to Fox again. So in 1 week, Barack Obama's vice president was taking foreign bribes right under his nose, and his Justice Department was illegally spying on the Republican presidential nominee and shutting down investigations legitimate investigations into the Democratic presidential nominee.
The reason why Obama, he technically could be telling the truth, that they don't get involved in politics, is because to a Democrat, all Democrat policy is non-political. They believe it's absolute truth. They believe that everyone should have that same opinion. So when they act like Democrats and go after a political opponent, they don't think that's political. They think they're pursuing the truth. We've seen them act this way. It's no different than Letitia James saying no one's above the law and the law applies to everyone. What she really means is the Democrat Party desires are the absolute truth. That is the absolute law. And this is not political. This is absolute truth. So Obama, that's what he meant. When they see Republicans appoint their people and they operate under our ways, then they say it's getting political. You've politicized the government. You've politicized the courts. You've politicized the Supreme Court and the presidency and the FBI. That just means that they were appointed by a Republican. Same with all their judges in the lower courts. Their judges think that doing Democrat things is what the Constitution, that's the purpose of the Constitution. That's the purpose of our whole law world. That's why they all sit there with a straight face. Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, Jack Smith, all the way up, even the Supreme Court justices, straight-faced. They're just doing Democrat stuff. And they claim it's non-political.
Mr. No scandals in my administration. And the media was colluding with the Clinton campaign on how to lay out the smears. Durham says the New York Times was having meetings with the Clinton campaign. Hey, Hillary, how does this draft look to you? Does this look all right to you? And Hillary's campaign was like, yeah, that looks good. You might want to add something, signing off on it. Remember, the New York Times got Pulitzers for this. So they get awards for fake stories, and Hannity gets nothing for telling the truth. He doesn't get like a plaque or anything. And not only that, the Biden administration obstructed the Durham Report. A bunch of FBI agents loyal to Joe Biden and Hillary and Barack refused to cooperate with Durham. They wouldn't even sit down with them. They're still hiding stuff from us, still obstructing justice. I thought you could get impeached for obstructing justice. Now, the FBI is interfering with American elections, and they're obstructing investigations into their actions about the election interference. Now, I don't even know now who's worse, the CIA or the FBI, but I do know I predicted it. Usually conservatives get their hopes up when we think things are turning around. That's happened many times. It's always the case where, this is just about to happen and it doesn't. Or, Hillary's about to get indicted and it doesn't happen. Is this going to be one of those times again where you appoint a prosecutor, Durham, great reputation, but it turns out no one gets punished? See, I'm not brilliant. I'm just street smart. Everybody knows this thing's rigged.
The reason why it's rigged, now this goes back to when it comes time for us to, if it's seeking revenge, what we will call justice, the Republicans will fight it as hard as the Democrats. You'll have all these guys that don't know the lay of the land. They don't realize how far into the game we are, how we're about to lose the entire country. And they will stand up and fight prosecuting the FBI and the CIA. They're still on last year's playbook. They're still in the last decade. Their head believing the media, believing the system is fair, believing the Democrats are acting in good conscience and in good nature. And so that's why this stuff doesn't get prosecuted.
We're all busy investigating the investigators while Democrats are winning elections.
Yep.
We're out here waiting 4 years on a report. Meanwhile, the FBI and the CIA are meddling with our voting rights. They frame a guy as a Russian agent. Obama's in on it. The CIA's in on it. The FBI's in on it. Hillary starts it. They illegally spy on his campaign, fabricate evidence to get warrants, and then they do a 2-year investigation to cover up their crime and try to impeach him. But the worst part is this. They run it back in 2020 with the laptop. Same thing, CIA and FBI. Even CNN says this is bad.
Regardless, the report is now here. It has dropped. And it might not have produced everything of what some Republicans hoped for. It is, regardless, devastating to the FBI. And to a degree, it does exonerate Donald Trump.
It's like CNN just found out that crooked's crooked. But MSNBC took a look at this report. They read it. And their conclusion was, yes, Trump colluded with Russia.
was trying to say that there's a big there when, there's no there. Russia interfered in the 2016 election. They're continuing to interfere. There are people who've gone to jail who are rightly found guilty. And what you have with John Durham is it's a big fat nothing. And it reminds me of the sort of weaponization hearings that are going on, where there also is, they're just falling flat on their face because there is no there.
A lot of big fat nothings piling up. Biden's foreign bribes, spying on Trump, framing him. A lot of big fat nothings. And you know who that guy was? That was the guy that Mueller had run the special counsel's office because Mueller was too old. That was the guy who destroyed his cell phone when the special counsel investigation was over.
Yeah, that guy and Hillary Clinton smashed servers. They cover their tracks. This is your government corroding. It is disintegrating before our eyes because the founders believed in a constitution, but they said, yeah, we handed you a republic if you'll keep it. And what we're finding is we're not so good at keeping it. And that's something, this wake-up call, I don't think it's a wake-up call to Democrats. I hope it's a wake-up call to Republicans because our guys got to be ready to fight this stuff, prosecute it. People should be going to jail. People should be prosecuted. And it's like Jesse Waters said, and Mark Levin, I don't think anything's going to happen because of this report. You have to have the will and a radicalized, politicized judge, Department of Justice. We're just going to keep following the rules. Lucy holding out that football going, Charlie Brown, kick the football. She's been pulling that football from away from him for over 60 years now. And that's what the Democrat Party is doing. They're going to pull the football again on the Republicans. And the Republicans sit there and go like, duh, why does everything cut against us? Why do the Democrats keep, they have all of U.S. aid and your tax dollars funding all their corruption because their positions are actually so unpopular, no one would vote for it without their grift. That's me. What do you guys think? Does anything come of this Durham investigation on Hillary Clinton? She should be in jail. She won't be prosecuted. That's my opinion on it. I'd love to hear from you guys, though. Make your case in the chat below. Hillary gets caught or Hillary gets away with it again. I'm Doug TenNapel, and this is the Doug TenNapel channel.